Hello, friends. We're continuing with Hyperion. We completed 94 lines and we'll be starting from with 95th line. Till now, we have seen that Saturn defeated. Now he's resting in an isolated valley. Thea comes, and Thea, who is a sister of Thea, is the sister of Saturn, and she's the wife of Hyperion. She comes and she kneels next to Saturn, and her face is down. Her hairs are also flowing and touching the ground. This is the position in which both of them were for 1 month. And now Saturn opens his eyes. And this speech he makes. This is a very sad speech from a god who once was a mighty king. But he has lost everything now. O tender spouse of gold Hyperion. Now Thea is the spouse, she is the wife of Hyperion. Gold means shining Hyperion, that means sun god. And she is also the sister of Saturn. Thea, I feel thee ere I see thy face. Uh, Thea's face was towards the earth. Therefore, Saturn, when he opened his eyes, was not able to see the face. But he could guess that this is Thea. So I feel thee ere I see, before I see your face. Look up and let me see our doom in it. Look up, show me your face, and in your face, let me see the doom or the catastrophe that has befallen us. Because that will be a dark and sad face. Look up and tell me if this feeble shape is Saturn's. You look up, look at my face, and see that this feeble shape. Now, once upon a time, Saturn was young, he was strong, and he was a powerful king. But now everything is lost. Therefore, this feeble shape, is it that of Saturn? You look up and see my face. Tell me, if thou hearest the voice of Saturn, the voice that you are hearing now, is that this voice of the same Saturn who was once a majestic king? Tell me, if thou hearest the voice of Saturn, tell me if this wrinkling brow, naked and bare of its great diadem, peers like the front of Saturn. Look at my face, look at my brow, look at my forehead, which is wrinkled, obviously, that means I'm old. Naked and bare of its great diadem. Diadem means crown. So once I being the king, I was wearing this, my forehead was wearing the crown, and it was a sign of my great glory. But now everything is lost. Now this forehead, divide of the diadem, does it closely resembles that of the Saturn? Pairs means look closely. Does it resemble? Obviously, everything is lost to me now. Who had power to make me desolate? Who was this power, and how did this power came? Who had this power of depriving me of my power? Whence came the strength? From how did this strength came to that Olympians who could defeat us? How was it nurtured to such bursting forth? Now, how did it develop from being less power to being more powerful? How did it happen? While fate seemed strangled in my nervous grasp. Now, obviously, I being king, I being God, so I was in control of everything, including fate, and it was in my grasp. Strangled, the word has been used, strangled. That means the god Saturn was strong and vigorous. The nervous grasp means fate was nervous in the grasp of Saturn, the god. Okay, and yet this force was so powerful that it could dethrone Saturn, who had fate in his command on his side. Okay, so that means force, that means Olympians would have been really powerful. But it is so, and I am smothered up and buried from all godlike exercise of influence benign on planet scale. But it is so, and I have been deprived of all my power, and I am smothered up. Now I have been rendered powerless. I have been completely defeated and buried from all godlike exercise. That means whatever, as being as God, I had certain duties to perform. I have been completely devoid of them. Of influences benign on planets pale. So there are given three examples of what Saturn used to do when he was God. Influence benign means kind influence on planets pale. Planets pale means stars. Pale means yellow, and therefore it is planet pale means whatever good influences I had on planets. Of admonitions to the winds and seas. Admonitions means giving punishment or giving directions rather to the winds and the sea. Of peaceful sway above man's harvesting. Sway means control. So I had a peaceful means a good control over man's harvesting. So the man that puts in his efforts on his agriculture and the harvesting. That means I used to send clouds so that they could rain, something like that. And all those acts which deity is supreme that ease its heart of love in. And I used to, these are the three examples that are given, but there are many more examples. And I used to perform all those acts as a deity supreme should perform in order to express and prove his love for the whole creation. Now, to understand this line, you have to see an example of a. If we want to show love to any person or a respect to other person, not only we are going to say some respectful words or loving words to the person, but we are going to perform certain acts also, which reflects our intention. Therefore, God also performs certain acts by which He proves or He shows that He loves the creation that He has created. Three acts are there, but there are many more acts which Saturn used to perform when he was the king. But now he has been deprived of all this tasks. Okay, and all those acts with the deities. I am gone away from my own bosom. Now I am not what I used to be. I have left my strong identity, my real self, somewhere between the throne. What I used to be, I had left that identity. My identity is lost. Where it has lost? Somewhere. My real self I have lost somewhere between the throne. I used to sit on the throne. The place was there, and where I sit. And now in this place I am sitting between these two places, the throne and where I am sitting right now. In between I have lost my identity, my strong identity. Here on this spot on earth. Search, Thea, search. And Thea, you search my identity. Open thine eye eternal and spare them now. Because you are immortal, therefore your eyes are also immortal. So you open your eyes and search them for my real identity where it is lost. Now you search upon all space. Space means all aerial region you spare. You look. Space starred. So wherever there are stars or wherever there are light, look at that place. And lawn of light. Regions which are deprived of light, which are completely dark, you look in that place also. Spaces regioned with life air. Wherever there is air, and the air is life-giving air. And therefore look at those spaces also for and search for my real identity. Where have I lost it? And barren void. Look into the region where there is air, look into the region where there is no air, and therefore the region is completely barren. Spaces of fire. So wherever there is fire and light, look at search there also. And yawn of hell. Yawn means depth of hell, where there is complete darkness. Search, Thea, search, and tell me if you seest a certain shape or shadow. Search, Thea, search of Saturn's old self, and if you see a certain shape or shadow making way with wings of chariot, fares to repossess a heaven he lost erewhile. So Saturn, who has lost his heaven, who has lost his formal self, he is asking Thea to search his formal self and see if that self is sitting, that Saturn is sitting in the chariot. That chariot is a fierce chariot made of fire and is moving, is gliding, is flying to repossess a heaven he lost erewhile. Some time back, Saturn had lost the heaven, and the Saturn, the old Saturn, he is sitting in the chariot and is moving to repossess that heaven. It must be of right progress. Saturn must take his kingdom back, and it should be done quickly. Saturn must be king. I must be king. Yes, there must be a golden victory, and that victory should be a grand victory. There must be gods thrown down. Now, Olympians, led by Jupiter, had defeated Titans, and Saturn, who was the previous king, he was defeated, and he is no longer the king now. So that means gods and Olympians are the new gods. So there must be gods thrown down. That means the Olympians have to be defeated. Jupiter no longer should be the king, it should be Saturn. And then trumpets blown of triumph come. And then once the Titans have achieved the victory, then there would be trumpets blown. Hymns of festival upon the gold clouds metropolitan. Now, metropolitan, this is a city of heaven. Once the heaven has been reclaimed by the Titans, then over the golden clouds, that means on the heaven, there would be festival, and in which there would be hymns or songs would be sung. Voices of soft proclaim, and there would be soft voices proclaiming everywhere that now the new king is Saturn, who has defeated the Olympians. And silver stir of strings in hollow shells. Whereas the songs would be played, there would be musical instrument also. Silver stir means silver notes, uh, made notes of musical instruments made from hollow shells, and they would also announce that the new king is Saturn. And there shall be beautiful things made new for the surprise of the sky children. And for the surprise of sky children, there shall be new beautiful things created. I will give command. And now, since my position has been restored, I am the new sovereign now, and therefore I would also give the command. Thea, 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 where is Saturn? Where is that old Saturn? Please find him out. So, okay, now this is a statement of Saturn who has just woken up. This is a very sad, very melancholy statement. Is he was once a god, but he has lost everything now. So we'll do continue with the next lines in the next video. Thank you.